Mic check, mic check. Does it even work? Okay. Y'all, please bear with me. Of course, my name's Dan Forney. I'm the chairman of the Board of Trustees for the Alpha Omega fraternity, and I'll be serving as your master of ceremonies this morning. I'm about 2 days off my deathbed, and so if you'll bear with us, we'll try to get through all this. But I want to thank each and every one of you for taking time out of your day to come and be here with us. We've got a lot of people that have done a lot of good hard work for our organization, and while we're here to recognize them. So before we get started anymore, I would like to invite Joe Smith and David Yaber up here, and Joe's going to lead us in the invocation, and then David will follow with the Pledge of Allegiance. Morning. Morning. Let's do something different. Let's grab a hand on each side. Some of you guys have never held hands with another man. Let's pray. Father, in Jesus' name, we come to you this morning just asking for your oversight, for your wisdom, for your direction. God, that you would orchestrate through your Holy Spirit what goes on here today, and God, that not only you would be blessed, but we can walk away blessed. We thank you for the hands we hold, the hearts that possess those hands, and the life that's in here. And we would say, Lord God, to just give you thanks for these relationships, for we know that's where your heart is. So we bless you, we honor you, we entrust this time to you, and we trust in you. In Jesus' name. Amen. Amen.
Please stand and join me in pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Y'all give me some feedback. Does it matter whether this microphone is pointed here, or can you hear me okay?
I can hear you.
Y'all can hear me okay in the back? Okay, super. All right. Like I said, we're glad to have everybody here today, and we're glad to be doing this at the same time it coincides with Sam Houston's 60th anniversary of the establishment of Greek life here on Sam Houston campus. I'd like to recognize a few of those that from the university that are here with us today. And y'all please stand when I call your name. Dean Mitchell Musam, you're going to get introduced twice, but go ahead. Dean Musam is the Dean of the Business College here. He's also on our Board of Trustees, which I'll get to in a second. But Dick Eckerslayer, Richard, and I probably butchered your name, Dick, but Dick is the provost here at the university, and glad to have you here with us, Dick. Thank you. Charlie Bien is the executive director of the Alumni Association, if I've got your title right, Charlie, and we work with him, and he's in charge of keeping everybody connected. So, Charlie, thank you so much for being here. And for those of you who are kind of new to our family here, and probably unaware of how we operate, Alpha Omega and Zeta Mu chapter of the Alpha Omega fraternity, which is here at Sam Houston, is run by three basic distinct groups. The Board of Trustees oversees the chapter operations and provides guidance and mentorship. And if you guys will stand when I call your name, I'll just point out who's on our Board of Trustees. Woody Woods, James Chandler, Jack Douglas, Dean Usan, David Yabra is in the back, Rick Hanna. Yeah, you're never getting off. You're never getting off. And then we've got a new recruit in Stan Holt, and he doesn't even know the secret handshake yet. So, as soon as we get to put him to work. So I don't think Sean Kelly's not here. So anyway, give him a round of hands. Okay. We've got the board of directors of the Alumni Association, and there's quite a few of them here, but if y'all want to stand, Charlie Adams and James Chandler. If you're on the board, go ahead and stand up since I don't have a list here. A lot of them are our honorees. Gordon Koenig, I see Brett Taylor back there, Robert Hudson, Joe Smith, and you guys on the front row, we're going to get to y'all. So. Okay, and then we have the individual chapter. Okay, and they're the undergraduates that oversee. So if the executive committee, if you're on the executive committee for the chapter, if you'll please stand and be recognized. Sometime today, so. Okay. As the old adage goes, a house is only as strong as its foundation. Beginning with the conception of the Don's Men's Social Club in 1955, and for over 60 years, the foundation of the Zeta Mu chapter has been poured, supported, and additions made. All of this was done in order to provide a loving brotherhood experience for the members, our families, and for the rest of our lives. While redesigning the functionality of the lodge this past year, it occurred to me that the undergraduate members might benefit from knowing more about the men that came before them and the contributions they made, which are enjoyed to this day. Also in hopes that a few of them may be inspired to follow in their footsteps and utilize whatever God-given talents you have or soon acquire to raise the bar of ATO. Today we're here to honor a select few of these brothers, pillars I call them, whose boundless energies, innovativeness, and contributions have firmly secured the foundation of Zeta Mu. Our Zeta Mu Alumni Hall of Honor is much more than just recognizing brothers who have given of their time and energy. This award instead recognizes the various tasks and components led by the honorees which have built Zeta Mu's foundation over the past 60 years. And each inductee has truly made a difference with his contributions. When the call to action is sounded, these brothers are the first responder, and Zeta Mu and our Alumni Association have been the beneficiaries. Simply stated, without the incredible and diverse talent and capabilities of these brothers, Zeta Mu may never have reached its longevity and prosperity that we enjoy today. These men are truly the best of the best to ever wear the azure blue and gold of ATO, and we thank each of the inductees for always being ready to respond for enriching our brotherhood with your service. At this time, I'd like to welcome our awards presenter and creator, Brother Larry Duffer Dunham. He is responsible for making this event become a reality and look spectacular in the process. Blessed with extreme creative talents. All I had to do was mention this little vision I had in mind, and Duffer immediately sprang into action with rapid fire ideas and his artistic ability, and we just can't say enough about it. So without further ado, Larry Dunham.
I want to thank Dan for about to get out of that deathbed, because as soon as he vacates it, I'm going to get in it. So we're really happy that you all are here today. And I normally ad lib when I am asked to talk with the group, but today I have to read a script. So you bear with me. Maybe my dyslexia show up on here. If I say someone's been born in the 1700s, you know, it's probably not accurate. But thank you, Dan, and thank you all for being here to share this very special 65-year in the making ceremony. Today I'd like to share 3 topics with you. The first is something very dear to my heart. I wrote this after attending my first Alumni Trails In annual reunion in 2000. I was so moved by seeing our brothers that I had not seen in over 40 years at that time, and experiencing the genuine, heartfelt joy and love that we all shared back in those good old days in the 60s, a long time ago. Well, little did I know or expect, at the reunion, as the reunion days went by, I witnessed that our brotherhood was not only still intact, but it was stronger than ever. When I returned home and reflected on those past few days, I was so moved, I just had to write this tribute, which I would like to share with you now. It's entitled, I Am an ATO. He was an honor cadet at VMI when his idea first shined so bright. The Civil War had just ended in 1865, and he knew the time was right. Otis Allen Glazebrook had a great vision for a brotherhood of men. He shared this dream with his 2 best friends and made our journey begin. Erskine Mayo Ross, Alfred Marshall, and O.A. Glazebrook were the founders of ATO. Their friendship was a bond as strong as right itself for all the world to know. No north, no south, no east, no west. It mattered not from where you came. If you believed in good over evil, on the rolls of ATO could be inscribed your name. To teach morals and to foster, and to recognize true merit wherever found. To work together to elevate man, our goals to which tolls are bound. These are some of the principles that were written into our creed, the thoughts and hopes uppermost in their minds. Great words to live by indeed. In 1955, the Dons formed a men's social club. It was as exciting as it was new, the forebearer of a new ATO chapter that would be called Zeta Mu. Today, our reunion tradition at Trails In Ranch adds another chapter to our story. Pray we never fail to look back in gratitude to those 3 men in their youthful glory. Many outstanding men have made the pledge to wear the azure blue and gold, and those of us who journey on, salute our chapter eternal brothers whose story has been fondly told. We look upon our crest, our cross, and our ritual in sincere and reverent awe, as we do our departed brothers, who have the love and respect of every tall. The Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, are words every ATO must know. I am the first, I am the last, I am forever. Your brother, I am an ATO. Second is the selection process for the Hall of Honor Awards, which was based on the criteria Dan shared with you earlier. It was used as the basis for each inductee selection. Although Zeta Mu Alumni Association has many outstanding brothers from which to choose any number of qualified honorees, today's inductees were voted for in a blind vote of the entire ATO Zeta Mu alumni membership. The votes were tabulated and only available to the Alumni Association's Executive Committee, who confirmed today's inductees for their award. And third, I am pleased and honored to make these award presentations to a special group of men who have gone that extra mile time and again. They have raised the ATO Zeta Mu bar, benefiting the active chapter and those fine young men who are now alumni and proud to be the first responders. So on with our presentations. Our first award today is indeed very special. It's an honorary award to the entire 114 members of the Dons Men's Social Club, who chose the Spanish name Dons because it translates to gentlemen, which embodies the true spirit of the Dons. These gentlemen Dons became the ATO fraternity at Sam Houston after the university approved affiliation with National Greek organizations in 1959. Today's ATO Zeta Mu chapter and every Zeta Mu alumni since February 1960, excuse me, including those of us assembled here today, must thank each of them and the university for making today's events a reality and for the privilege of being able to say I am an ATO. The vision of the 23-year-old Korean War veteran, Charlie Hodges, and the dedication and high standards on which he, Bill Filio, Larry Skazelski, and Bill Briggs, and the other 7 charter members founded the Dons met or exceeded every criterion of the ATO National Fraternity. 4 of these leaders are shown in the above illustration done by Brother Mike Davis over here, who we'll see a little later. The Dons did the unthinkable for an upstart group. They took Sam Houston State Teachers College by storm and never looked back. The maturity and experience of their members enabled the Dons to become the leading men's social club at SAM. They led in student affairs, campus honors, campus offices, intramurals, and they dominated the campus for 5 straight years. They did this while building an organization that would become ATO Zeta Mu. And this was no fluke, because their overall excellence in campus leading GPA, the Dons had their pick of any national fraternity they so desired. The over 1,000 ATO Zeta Mu members appreciate the Dons and their focus and determination for leaving their legacy. Today, we are proud to bestow this Honorary Alumni Hall of Honor Award to the Gentlemen Dons. It will forever be a part of the Hall of Honor and be proudly displayed with all of today's and future inductee awards at the ATO Zeta Mu Lodge. I now ask all the Dons present today, in addition to the last living member, charter member of the original 11 Dons, Jim Truman Dickens, who could not be with us, to please stand if you're able and be recognized. These brothers represent all 114 Dons being recognized for this outstanding alumni honor award. We thank you with love and respect. Please stand up if you're able. Fellas, we wouldn't be here without you, you know that. Thank you. Our first Hall of Honor award goes to Brother Charlie Hodges, who founded the Dons. Sadly, he passed just 2 weeks ago on August 22nd, 2019, and entered our chapter eternal, where every Don in Zeta Mu ATO lives in our hearts and our minds forever. Charlie's dream of leaving a legacy inspired this group of young men to work together to ensure the Dons not only were the best social club on the Sam Houston campus, but guiding them to build a foundation for future generations. Their vision to lead by example enabled them to attain the highest GPAs, fill those key leadership positions in other organizations, found the Miss Sam Houston pageant and the Blue Miss Formal, and successfully produced many other events benefiting the entire campus. The Dons skillfully recruited like-minded men to fulfill that vision. With each new recruit became a wealth of additional capabilities, which spread the influence of the Dons far beyond the dreams envisioned in early 1955. Charlie's leadership, with his great friend and right-hand man, Bill Filio, created the first-class organization that attracted many of the Bearcats' best athletes, campus leaders of their time, to become members. It seemed there was nothing that they could not do once they put their plans into motion. Brother Charlie Hodges was truly the first pillar upon which Zeta Mu was firmly anchored. Without his vision, the Dons and the Zeta Mu Brotherhood would likely not exist, and we owe him all a deep debt of gratitude. With Brother Hodges' recent passing and his bride Barbara being unable to make the trip here today, we're pleased to welcome their daughter Deborah Hodges Coffey to come and accept this award for her dad. Deborah.
You don't know my dad. He wouldn't be here without his cap. And like Larry, I normally don't cry, actually. It freaks people out when I do. So I apologize in advance. But I do have a few words that I would like to say very quickly. I am Charlie's oldest daughter, and I am his mini-me. And I don't take that blessing lightly. My daddy was a partner in crime growing up, my biggest fan, and he continues to be my greatest hero. He was a hard worker and a staunch family man. He invested in his family, his church, and his community. He was a wicked .42 player. And he had an incredible sense of humor that spilled out onto everyone he met. Just being in his presence was a blessing. He truly was larger than life. As for worldly success, he had simple dreams. And there were times that he struggled, but the Hudgens men never lost their dignity or their love for other people. And that's what their name was based on. So that was very important to them. I am here today to accept this wonderful award of honor on behalf of my precious daddy. I actually wrote this before he passed. It's truly an honor for me, but my real purpose here is to tell you that the love and respect that you showed my daddy, which I have come to learn is a signal and a sign for you, love and respect. Did so much for my daddy in his final years. He told me these stories, even of the retreats, over and over and over. And I wish I could hear them again now. In closing, I came to learn that love and respect is your motto, a phrase that is added in each correspondence that you send. Those words have nearly been lost in our society today, but you were faithful to those words for my daddy. And on behalf of my daddy and my entire family, I thank you for exemplifying the true meaning of love and respect and the incredible blessing that it brought. Thank you so much.
Thank you, David.
Thank you. Perhaps unique in the long history of ATO, since its founding by Otis Allen Glazebrook, Alfred E. Marshall, and Judge Erskine Mill Ross in 1865 after the Civil War ended, his brother Randy Edens. Brother Edens was the last Don's president and the first ATO Zeta Mu Worthy Master, or our president. A singular honor indeed, and as such had an enormous responsibility to instill the highest standards garnered from each of these leadership offices. Endowed with the genuine leadership qualities, Brother Edens has used this ability to set the bar for how Zeta Mu chapter of Alpha Tau Omega would forever be dedicated to something greater than a mere intellectual idea. Alpha Tau Omega stands for the heart as well as the head. It has given men a true ideal of life. If it were possible to locate in the Who's Who directory a name that invoked virtue, strength, love, intelligence, maturity, and the ability to roll all these into a single person with a steadfast moral compass, that name would be Randolph E. Edens. These attributes are another example of what a Zeta Mu Foundation pillar has made. If ever there was one man that embodied all that is good in the hearts of the men of ATO Brotherhood, it is Brother Edens. Brother Edens, please join me now and accept your award. Or I'll bring it to you if you like. Oh, beg your pardon. You looks at me while you're playing, no? Step up to the mic and just let them know what you want to say.
Well,
Oh my gosh, you got it.
to start this, he gave me 30 minutes, so I've adjusted.
You see that big hook on the wall out there?
Yeah. I guess the easiest thing for me to say encompassing this years of time, and that's hard to do. I have no problem with my memory. I have a tremendous need for adjustment and repair on my master of remembering things. One is, I get too close to my heart with this, is a number of years ago, like in the 50s, we had a pledge group come through with Pledge Duffer in it, pledge Larry Dunham. At that time, he was a pledge, and he was doing what we asked him to do. Now then, 65 years later, you can see the statue and the momentum that he carries with him in the past. He is telling me when to stand up and when to sit down. That's a lot of years, but I can remember that real clear. The privilege and the blessing has been even the distance of out of state most all of my life. And I'm very indebted to my family for the support they've given me and the club and the fraternity. Thank you. Thank you.
Brother Larry Skazowski was born on August 23rd, 1933, and passed away joining our chapter term on March 28, 2015. His leadership, wise counsel, mentoring, willingness to pitch in and help the chapter and alumni will forever be greatly missed. Brother Skazowski was born to become an integral part of the foundation of Zeta Mu. Being the Don's undergraduate accountant, a field he practiced in professional life for over 50 years, he helped Brother Hodges build the Dons into the juggernaut that became ATO. As a Navy Korean War veteran, we all look up to Larry as he was always providing his wise counsel and calming effect, benefiting his maturity and experience. He single-handedly organized the Houston ATO Alumni Association, hosted and helped organize fundraising drives, and contributed his services to benefit the Zeta Mu chapter for over 55 years. Brother Skazowski raised the alumni bar for all ATO alumnus to follow. Larry's wife, Lena, could not be with us today, but Don and ATO brother Al Coverson will accept this award in Larry's behalf. Al? Would you like to say a few words? You want to?
Oh, I'll see.
Okay, come on. Here, we're going to take a quick picture before we do that.
Turn your right, turn.
I'll try to. It's just a pledge for, you know. For too short a time, I didn't learn everything. Here, I'll hold that for you later. Okay, thank you.
Larry was a very good friend of mine forever. He and his wife Lena, we had a lot of good times together, and I'm glad to accept this on his behalf.
Thank you, Al.
Fix the slide.
Yeah. Sorry, I think I got my hand on that one. My mind tends to wander a little bit. Brother A.W. Redle was a regular guy who had the unique ability to showcase many extraordinary talents. As a result, both the Dons and later ATO Zeta Mu became the beneficiary of his extraordinary salesmanship, singing the praises of each and every one he came in contact with on campus. He helped mold and strengthen the foundation of Zeta Mu, as evidenced in the quality members he was personally recruited. And I'm proud to say, I am one of those recruits. Brother Radel was a freshman class president, defensive end on the Bearcat football squad until he was sidelined by an injury, Bearcat cheerleader, and then voted head cheerleader on the first ballot, which is unheard of during this time. If this is not a hunk, I don't know what a hunk is. As a leader of the A.W. Radel combo, including future Don's brother Bert Hurry, back there on the piano, his rendition of Great Balls of Fire was a campus smash. It was said that killer Jerry Lee Lewis had nothing on this Bearcat hawk. Call it like I see it. Continuing to keep the Don's Brotherhood living in the life of its members, A.W. played a critical role in organizing and maintaining the Don's archives for over 65 years, culminating in his production of the Don's 50-year anniversary book, telling the first story of the organization. His work was an invaluable help to me with the Alumni Association production of the subsequent Don's ATO ZMU History Project completed in 2016. AW is still active and in contact with hundreds of his Dons and ATO brothers through his daily inspirational emails, and he continues to keep advancing, educating, and inspiring his brothers. Indeed, ATO is the life of AW. I am pleased to present Don and ATO brother A.W. Radel his award, and I will bring it to you right side up. Or would you like to come up, or you want to? Just one second, A.W., and I'll bring this to you. You gonna come up, buddy? Okay. Come up and get it. All right, come on. Easy done, easy done. I'll let you say what you're gonna say, and then we'll do the picture later.
Folks, this is going to be real short. Don't have a whole lot to say. Most people that know me know where my heart is in regards to the Dons and the ATOs. Without this organization, I don't know where I'd be. I don't have much of a family. So I look to my brothers in fraternity life to be my family. You've meant the world to me, and you've kept me going. I was in pretty good health my first 72 years, and when I hit 72, it seems like somebody jerked the rug out from under me. I've suffered through a number of different health problems. Fortunately, I've managed to get through them. In fact, I just had a pacemaker put in 2 weeks ago Wednesday, and it cleared up a whole lot of problems that I've been suffering from for over 4 years. Anyway, it's good to be here today. It's good to see all of you guys. I want to thank publicly my dear friend Gordon Koenig, who came by, went way out of his way to come pick me up, and he's basically acted as a chauffeur so that I could be here. Without Gordon and his never-ending effort to help me get around, I wouldn't be here today. So thank Gordon for getting me here. I hope you all have a good day today. We're all going to enjoy this wonderful program that Larry has put together. And he mentioned something that I take a great deal of pride in. Yes, I was instrumental in recruiting at least 6 of the top ATOs in our organization. Larry being one, my old roommate Mike Davis being another, Bill Haynes being another, and who can forget the Toy Bells, the three musicians that captured the music world at Sam Houston for a number of years. Larry was one of them, Ronnie Womble was another, and Jesse Langford was the third one. Jesse continued on with his life in music. He sang at different churches and public places. Jesse left us about a couple of years ago. He passed away. Of course, Ronnie died about 10 or 12 years ago, and I was able to attend his services out at George Jackson's ranch. Anyway, I'm very proud that I was able to get invitations extended to those 6 guys. They mean the world to me, and you can see what they've turned out to be and what contributions they've made to our organization. Good luck, guys. Look forward to being with you several more years. Thanks.
Yeah, you hold this way and look at Dalton right here. Okay, I'll hold it for you. You gotta help me, Rick. I think we might have moved a few slides. There we go. Okay, hold it for me. You gotta help me, Rick. I think we might have moved a few slides. There we go. Okay, hold it for me. You gotta help me, Rick. I think we might have moved a few slides. There we go. Okay, hold it for me. You gotta help me, Rick. I think we might have moved a few slides. There we go. Okay, hold it for me. You gotta help me, Rick. I think we might have moved a few slides. There we go. Told you he was a hunk. Are we rolling now or what? Thank you, A.W. Brother Wendell Bailey, known to our brotherhood as Spot and loved by all. Brother Bailey was described by one of his pledges during one of Spot's multiple Pledge Master tours as the coolest man on campus, and that was an understatement. Spot was as caring as he was a stern mentor, and he had that ability to reach almost into the soul of anyone who needed his guidance. I know that for a fact. He is the epitome of unselfishness, a true friend, and one of the strongest pillars of influence that Zeta Mu has ever had. Spot organized the annual Don's Homecoming Reunion and anchored the cooking and chef duties of the Zeta Mu Alumni Reunion since Brother Bird Harper retired in 2015. Keeping the reunion attendees full and happy is another reason the brotherhood is still vibrant and strong. Brother Bailey and his first responder attitude, along with his many years of service slaving over a hot stove, make him another of the pillars of Zeta Mu. Wendell, will you please join me and accept your upside down reward?
Well, I didn't prepare a speech. I didn't know I was going to follow all these speakers. But at any rate, 60 years ago when I walked up on the campus and saw all these guys walking around, and I didn't know what they were part of, but I knew they were in something, and it turned out that these guys were all Dons. And so I decided, well, I'll check that out. And I did, and I'm still going. But don't believe a lot of what he said. I was his pledge trainer, and if it wasn't for me, he wouldn't be here. And I protected him a lot. But thank you very much, all of you, for coming, especially my family and my wife, Ronnie, who has been here since the beginning with us. So thank you both again.
There's a real long story that goes on what he just said. All I can tell you is stick to your guns. And those of you who know what I'm referring to, you dirty rat. Well, unfortunately, George and Nisha are not with us today, but I once heard George say this about another ATO and Zeta Mu brother. If ATO had a John Wayne, it's him. Well, bell drum? This can be said in the Duke's inimitable style about Brother George Axe. George is not only a foundation pillar of Zeta Mu, he mixed his own concrete, dug and filled the hole, and then drove the pillar all the way down till he hit bedrock. That's dedication by a great brother to a great cause. The list of contributions Brother Yax has made to the advancement of Zeta Mu are many. While an undergraduate, George single-handedly recruited an entire chapter of self-starting members, which accounts for a large portion of today's Alumni Association. According to the National ATO database, 1967 stands alone as the year when more Zeta Mu ATOs were initiated than at any other time outside of a chapter chartering event. A fitting testament to the work of George and his team. After graduating, George went on to use the same skills in building his company, American Oilfield Divers, into an international oil industry diving company operating on 6 continents with 2,400 employees, 200 million in annual sales, and with 22 support vessels up to 300 feet in length. He wanted to mention this because it is part of the foundation. I shouldn't say he did, we did. We wanted to mention this. It's part of the foundation that Zeta Mu sits on today, and it ain't bragging if you did it. In 1992, when the chapter faced challenging times, Brother Yax presented a plan of reorganization and support during Zeta Mu's recolonization process. When the chapter needed a new place to call home, Brother Yax was a primary driver in getting the ATO Lodge project moving forward. And he was a major financial contributor in making the Lodge a beautiful reality it has become. In 1997, George shared his dream with his 2 best friends, Joe Smith and Roy Harper, and started what has become the Zeta Mu annual reunion hosted at his beautiful Trails End Ranch. This resulted in bringing together brothers from 6 different decades and creating an incredible base of support unparalleled in today's fraternity world. Our alumni and actives appreciate and recognize our gracious hosts, Nisha and George, for their kind hospitality. Again, the illustration inset by Mike Davis captures these 3 reunion founders. For the past 20 years, Nisha and George have opened their front door and their 10,000-acre ranch to hundreds and hundreds of ATOs, which provided the opportunity to further strengthen the bond of our brotherhood. There are simply not enough words to describe and explain the incalculable contributions Brother Yax has made to Zeta Mu. The Alumni Association, the annual reunion, the active chapter, the ATO Lodge, the SHSU Zeta Mu Relations, the ATO National Relations, and the countless ATO Zeta Mu brothers who have sought his counsel. Brother Yax is driven to succeed and is dedicated to elevating those around him. A true mentor to our undergraduate executive officers, sharing his business philosophies and advice to those young men. He has indeed been a main pillar, and he is simply the most gracious, unassuming person I have ever known. Zeta Nu is most fortunate to have in their corner, supporting and encouraging personal growth and development of the collegiate men within our circle. The bar, which all of these inductees have continually helped raise, has on its gleaming surface Brother George C. Yax's name so deservedly engraved. George and Nisha couldn't be here. Nisha is very sick. They're both recovering from the flu. He wanted to be here, as you know, very, very much. So he asked me to say sorry for their absence, but hopefully have a great day today. And in his absence, his brother-in-law and Nisha's brother, Roger Adams, is going to accept the award for George. Yours is on the back.
Oh, okay.
I'll say a few words.
Well, he gave me a 3-page speech, but I can't find it. I don't know what happened to it. I think my wife threw it away or something. So I know it's an honor for him to receive this, and it's an honor for me to accept this for him. And so the speech is going to be, thank you.
There were 3 more pages of things about George, but I just kind of skipped over those. Oh boy. Since graduating in 1979, yesterday when I rehearsed this, I said 1779. So whichever one it was is okay. But Brother Rico Hanna has been rock steady in his mentoring in one capacity or another for Zeta Mu. One of Rico's exceptional strengths is his down-to-earth approach to virtually every challenge. And for those of us who have had the pleasure of Rico's wise counsel over the years, we can all recall his incredible humor and his timely wit. He's a funny guy. Usually interjected at just the right moment to underscore his point. Utilizing his exceptional teaching and organizational skills, Rico has hosted many leadership training and planning programs, engaging expert presenters to assist our undergraduate chapter members with topics from chapter operations to job interviews. His leadership of various fish fries, barbecues, and other events have helped the chapter learn how to host first-class recruitment events and has resulted in the membership of some of the most outstanding young men ever to attend SHSU. His vision and organization of the university summits has been monumental in bringing together many great Sam Houston administrators with the Zeta Mu alumni to build common support. His organization of the silent auction and the annual reunions help provide scholarships and educational funds for undergraduates for many years, and the list goes on and on. During his long tenure with ATO and Zeta Mu, he has been the worthy master 2 different times. That's unprecedented. ATO National Congress delegate 5 times, voted best member, IFC treasurer, IFC president, senator, student government, pledge trainer, chapter advisor, province chief, board of trustees chairman 2 different times. President of HSU Alumni Association and Boy Scout and Scoutmaster, winning the George Strait Merit Award for top leader out of 60 units. While the national average of producing Eagle Scouts is 3 out of 100, as Scoutmaster, Brother Hanna's troop produced 18 out of 60. He brings that level of expertise and motivation with him in all things ATO. It has been accurately stated that without this outstanding brother's hands-on guidance of Zeta Mu, his leadership skills, his continuous hard work, and sacrifices over the years, ATO would likely not exist at SAM. His down-to-earth approach and impeccable wit, along with his exceptional efforts, are a testament of why we are able to gather here today and celebrate this great event. Brother Hannah is one of the finest examples of the great pillars of Zeta Mu, and we owe him a deep debt of gratitude. Brother Hannah, please join me. If you come over here, we'll get your photo the right way. Yes, sir. I know, that's just what they told me. Profile there.
Hey, I didn't know we were going to make any presentations, but I always have a cause. I'm simply repaying the opportunities that were given to me as a pledge. I was fortunate enough to get into this fraternity and just try to give back what I can. One of the things I've tried to work with is a scholarship program. We've got this tradition when someone passes to the chapter eternal, often rather than sending flowers, we try to collect a little bit of money for the scholarship fund. So for Charlie Hodges, I've already gotten $2,000 in donations. So if anybody would like to add more to that, I'll take that up to the university. And the one thing I really wanted to promote, my brother David Jebber, who I met many years ago and had at the ranch, has been trying to help us put together a function at the university camp here at St. Houston. It's property that TDC once owned, and the university was able to acquire it. Keith Jenkins has spent a huge amount of time developing this project. We now host our own Bearcat camp there. So our incoming freshmen, some of you may have heard of the college over in Bryan College Station area that does its fish camp sort of thing, where they bring in their freshmen, take them off, and indoctrinate them, whatever. We have our own facility here at the lake. And in conjunction with the 60th anniversary of the Greek system, we're going to hold a reunion this year in April, first week of April, at the university camp. So it's going to be an exciting, little different from going to the ranch. George needed a break for a change, so we're going to do it out at the university camp. We're really looking forward to putting on an outstanding program out there. It'll sleep 300 people, beautiful dining hall, lodge. It's quite a facility that the university is very proud of. So thank you for this recognition. I'm just paying back the opportunities that people have given me. And thank me for being the youngest inductee. I'm very proud of that.
That, by the way, is business casual for Rick. Oh, my goodness. What I'm about to read is really true. Brother Forney's contributions to Zeta Mu are legendary. Since the mid-1980s, Brother Forney has been a shepherd of Zeta Mu, leading it through some of the most tumultuous times in the history of fraternity life in the early 1990s, showcased by his tireless efforts to rebuild the Zeta Mu chapter twice in that process. He has regularly engaged alumni to become supporters and mentors, hosting officer transition retreats, organizing fundraisers to eliminate chapter debt, effectively countering punitive lawsuits and restrictions harmful to Zeta Mu. You know, all the fun stuff everyone wants to deal with on a regular basis. A conscientious student of the issues facing young men's interactions with other SHSU fraternity advisors, Dan formed the IFC Advisors Group to share common ideas and concerns, all the while providing guidance to countless chapter members over 35 years of his unending service. To further his ability to help Zeta Mu, Brother Forney has also held many national ATO Zeta Mu chapter offices that their impact on the active chapter is beyond astounding. Here are just a few of Dan's fraternal contributions. I'm going to have to take a little air on this. The list is longer than his. Not really. Worthy scribe, rush chairman, pledge trainer, chapter financial advisor, director province 15, chairman of the board of trustees, member of the board of directors, ATO Upper Alpha Award winner, and most importantly, the best Zeta Mu chapter mentor in the chapter's history, 60-year history. He has done all of this and still does all of these same things, not only with a sense of duty and pride, but best of all with a commitment of genuine desire to further every young man that Dan meets and befriends along the road to fulfilled life. Perhaps those words penned by Brother Forney himself and incorporated in his award say it best. I quote, "Preserving the ATO experience for generations to come has been my goal since becoming an alumni advisor in the 1980s. It has afforded me the luxury of participating in the lives of so many young men who gain valuable friendships and the base of support for the rest of their lives. When I ask them what they want to get out of joining ATO, I am often told I want to learn how to be a good man. Our work with the Zeta Mu chapter is in pursuit of this important and life-changing goal." There's another honk. ATO Zeta Mu will always and forever be in Brother Forney's debt for his heartfelt need to be there for these young men who he so desperately wants to mold into being the best they could possibly be. And that is the definition of a strong, caring man and vibrant moral foundation. If there was a brother who deserved to be called Mr. ATO, it's Dan Forney. Please join me in recognizing this great man and brother who I ask to join me now and accept his award. Dan.
I had hair once.
Well done.
That's right. Well, y'all can hear enough from me, but I guess ATO has been my mission. It's been a lifelong passion. I enjoy every bit of it, and what I enjoy more than anything else is seeing young men go on and make something out of themselves. The entertainment we all get watching the squirrely incoming freshmen, and then throughout this process grow into a fine developed human being by the time they get to be seniors and ready to go. And so we really enjoy where ATO is able to be part of their family. They're willing to be part of our family, and thank you for being here and recognizing this with us, and go ATO.
All right. Brother Hudson is one of those hard-working, intensely caring brothers who gives of his services to the Alumni Association and to Zeta Mu, and few ever get to see him in action, but they see the results. His administering the various financial accounts and funds that so importantly benefit the Zeta Mu actives and the alumni, and which are vital to their continued success. Well, it seems someone up there has noticed his hard work, as evidenced by the Smith-Hudson Business Building on the SHSU campus being named in his honor. He's a professional's professional, and his devotion to keeping a tight fiscal focus on the Alumni Association's financial resources is paramount to the success and ability of the Alumni Association being able to provide financial assistance as directed by the BOD, Board of Directors, and the Board of Trustees. In addition, Brother Hudson is known not only on the SHSU campus, but throughout the state of Texas. He travels to a number of other campuses and provides his financial expertise and assistance overseeing various endowments to the other Texas colleges and universities. Brother Hudson is without a doubt the strongest and most dedicated financial pillar Zeta Mu has ever had. We simply couldn't function without him. Please help me welcome this unsung hero of Zeta Mu as he accepts his reward. Sir.
Thank you. It's an honor to receive this award. For those of you that are active in the chapter and young alumni, the important thing about these awards is they're an example to you of what ATO can do to you if you give back. And you'll have friends that you'll cherish the rest of your life. The friends you grow up with and the friends that you have in high school, you'll grow away from as time goes on and you go to different ways. But the ATOs, will be friends for life. I never dreamed when I graduated here, and somehow graduated, and 1965, 64 years later, I would still be this close with this many ATOs. You know, half of my pledge class is receiving these awards today. And it's just an example of what this brotherhood can do for you. And not only for you, but for my wife Sylvia, who knew none of these people, you know, has some of her closest friends today are the wives of other ATOs. So it's something you'll cherish for the rest of your life. And I just encourage you to keep it going. Thank you.
As many of you know, Semper Fidelis is Latin for always faithful or always loyal. The U.S. Marine Corps adopted the always faithful motto in the tumultuous time in October 1775. Wonder what young Charlie's rank in the Corps was at that time. Brother Adams has adopted this motto as his mantra when he pledged ATO in 1962. And he has been faithful to it and to ATO ever since. Since taking over as president of the Alumni Association in 2009, Colonel Adams has led the charge of organizing board of directors into a very effective and efficient group indeed. Overseeing our many alumni events, including career days, and his wealth of knowledge and leadership skills has made our alumni Hunt for Heroes one of the best in the country, according to many of the wounded warriors who attended. It has been rumored that he refers to his job as herding cats. But I'll assure you, when the colonel gives a command, the alumni cats get in lockstep mighty quick. Attention to orders. I think I'd better just quote directly from Colonel Adams. I quote, "I believe that great leadership is the keystone of any good organization. In order to get this kind of leadership, you have to have strong leaders who believe in what they're doing, and they will inspire others to do the same." He further says, leadership equals caring, and that is what I've always felt was fundamental about ATO Zeta Mu and our Alumni Association. We have leaders who care, and I believe that is why we have such a great active chapter and great Alumni Association. As President Emeritus of the ATO Zeta Mu Alumni Association, Brother Adams has faithfully demonstrated his great leadership quality. And though he has led by example, he has inspired every ATO and alumni he has ever met. He would likely never mention the thousands of Marines he has led as a full bird colonel, or as a Marine company commander leading his men in hand-to-hand combat, demonstrating his lead by example, receiving the Purple Heart for his severe wounds, among many other citations, while serving in Vietnam. He is a credit to his beloved Marine Corps, his country, his wife Sandra Kay and his family, his friends, and his ATO brotherhood. Semper Fi, Colonel. Please help me now and welcome a true hero, Marine Colonel and ATO brother. Colonel, am I going to do it here?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just want to address the younger guys around the room here, the future leaders of Zeta Mu and ATO. Remember that motto of Semper Fidelis, always faithful. Be faithful to your God, to your country, and to your brothers. Thank you so much.
No one ever told Brother Joe, being the spiritual advisor to the ATO Zeta Mu Alumni Association, would be easy, but that never entered Brother Smith's consciousness or deterred him from accepting this worthy challenge. He is a rock of understanding and has gone that extra mile time and again to minister and mentor ATO Zeta Mu actives and alumni. A regular participant at the Zeta Mu Alumni Speaker Program, Joe assists young graduates with an understanding of what it takes to become a well-balanced man, physically, mentally, and spiritually. And thanks to Joe joining with Brothers Yaks and Harper one evening in 1997 and reminiscing about the good old days, they were able to conceive and organize the greatest fraternity and reunion on the planet. A good man who is always on call 24/7 to provide hope, comfort, and care to our alumni in an impactful way, as he did with Brother Hodges' service. His taking the lead in anchoring the foundational part of our brotherhood truly makes him a pillar of Zeta Mu. Joe, please join me and accept your award. I'll hold you, you'll hold me.
Very briefly, second honor I've had in a couple of weeks. Got to do Charlie Hodges going home. Wow. What a great man. And so, in saying that, I appreciate it so much, this ATO thing. Been a large part of my life for a long time. But I want to tell you this, I couldn't have done it without Jamie. Sugar. I'm not a tough guy, okay? Sitting next to my wife's my granddaughter, who is also an ATO sweetheart. I'm seizing the moment because I can. This is my baby. And as much as I appreciate this and understand what it means and what it says, I want my identity to be based upon how I serve you guys, my family, my wife, my kids, my grandkids, and my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Joe. The old adage, it's not always the one on the stage who deserves the spotlight and the accolades, but the one behind the scenes who works tirelessly to make it all look so easy for those in the limelight. Not sure if Brother Woodward has ever performed on stage. However, as mayor and city councilman of Huntsville, he has certainly earned his positive reviews by the citizens of Huntsville. His contributions to Zeta Mu have made him a star of enormous proportions and have been monumental importance to the chapter's success. He certainly deserves his share of limelight for all to see. When the idea of constructing a lodge for the local chapter began to take shape, Mac stepped forward and provided the land, oversaw the lodge's construction, and was a major financial contributor. Even after the lodge was built, Brother Woodward continued to cover the cost of the taxes and insurance for several years without ever saying a word. His generosity, love of Zeta Mu, and heartfelt desire to provide the undergraduates with a place to call home has allowed new members to build brotherhood bonds they will treasure for a lifetime. Here is punk number 3. He is a prime example of what is meant by being a pillar of the foundation of Zeta Mu, and we would not be here today without him. Literally, we would not be here. Mac is the director of the Sam Houston Memorial Museum, which is housed in this building on these grounds. His leadership within the Huntsville community is unparalleled. We are so proud to be able to share the title of brother with you. Mr. Mayor, please join me and accept your well-deserved award. You bet. Come on, old man. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Well, I'm going to be brief. I didn't know I was going to have to follow Joe Smith and precede Roy Harper, so I probably worked harder on my speech. You know, pledging ATO and becoming an ATO was probably the second best decision I ever made. You know, everybody knows what the first best decision I ever made. But
you know, being an ATO, like it says in Larry's words, it's forever. It's one of those decisions you make that's for the rest of your life. And you make so many decisions through your life, and you change your jobs, you change your friends, you change your locations, you change a lot of things, but becoming an ATO is forever. And that's probably one of the greatest things that I've ever experienced. I want to say congratulations to all you other guys. Thank you for what you've done. To the young guys, you will get more out of ATO than you put into it, but put everything you can into it because you'll get it back. And like I experienced the first time I went to the reunion, I hadn't seen these guys in 35 years. It was like we had never left each other. So that's what brotherhood is, and that's how important it is. But thank you all very much. I appreciate it.
It's a good thing there's so many of you all here today, because I'd sure like to get after this next guy. Bird is his nickname. Thank you very much. And he is loved beyond measure by all in our brotherhood. This brother has contributed to more ATO, Zeta Mu, and alumni events than probably any other tall. His contributions to Zeta Mu are numerous. Many are without fanfare, and he would be the last to ever mention them. Okay, I've got to read from here because I neglected to put this one in. You're gonna love this one. Brothers Bird, Yax, and Smith were the co-founders and catalysts and the reason we all have been so blessed to have our annual reunion. How fortunate we are that those are the three that shared glasses of wine that one balmy evening on Brother Yax's patio back in 1997. It may have been a few small glasses of wine for these men, but a giant and blessed celebration for our brotherhood. However, one of his contributions is very much known to all who have enjoyed attending our annual reunions. His impeccable culinary skills. Bird almost single-handedly has fed many of us into food comas, and in the process has helped build the reunion to the incredibly thriving event it has become. In addition to his contributions to the reunions and being the reunion chef extraordinaire from 1998 to 2014, he was the kind of brother Colonel Adams was talking about, a genuine leader. As a renowned architect, he has professional services to the Lodge, Trails Inn Ranch, and his contributions to Zeta Mu and building the Alumni Association into the sporty group it is today are the ingredients that has helped make our foundation so strong. In case you haven't figured out why we call him Bird, I'll be happy to share this with you after the ceremony. It's pretty juicy. Bird, please come up and accept your award. Good boy, it was a good bit, Cat. Sir. Hold your award here, man. All right, y'all, just relax.
I was reminded this past week that in 1964, Brother George Yax and Tommy McAfee and Jeff Moore and myself rode out Hurricane Carol in Florida and the Bahamas. And there are some amazing stories about all of that, but I remember George drove us out to that reunion. We were to that conference. It was an ATO national conference in one of his old ratty vehicles, and he had a string of them, probably the old Vauxhall. And I remember there was a tear in the headliner over the driver's seat, and George had a pistol in that tear. Now, who would believe George Yax was carrying a pistol? But even back then, he was packing. So I'll ask you to pray for those folks, even as we go through this. They're struggling. You know, I'm honored and humbled to receive this award, but I can't tell you how much I have benefited and enjoyed my adult life with you men and you women. It has just been a blessing in my life, and I thank you for that. And I want to take just a minute to blow this guy's horn a little bit. This didn't just happen. Larry Dunham and Dee have put this thing together over countless hours, and what a special time it is. And those of you that remember the History Project, I mean, this guy, what, 3 years and still at it? If you've not seen the History Project,
We have 5 sets for sale. Only 5.
Only 5.
Only 5. If you want to buy one,
but I appreciate his talent and his untiring effort all these years. And, let me recognize one more person back here. My big brother Tom Evans, his wife Mary. Tom got me involved in all of this.
You're the lead of the program, which is maybe a good.
that's all right.
So it's all your fault. But anyway, folks, I love every one of you. Thank you, and let's have a good time today. Okay?
Oh, I'm gonna have to start over, y'all, sorry. You rascal, what'd you do to me here?
Press presenter view
No, I'm good.
on the top.
Oh, thank you, I see that now. Okay. And Yak says I'm a low-tech guy. I don't think guy is the right word, but okie dokie, Cooch, you're up. If there ever was a brother who loves his alumni jobs, it's brother Pete Cooch Coutura. It has been said that in order to know where you're going, you must know where you've been. As Alumni Association Secretary, he is vitally important in recording every decision of virtually every alumni activity. And he tackles it all with that big smile on his face. To know Cooch is, am I the right one here? I think so. Nope. To know Cooch is to love him for his genuine desire to help anyone, anytime. He maintains the alumni database and keeps everyone informed with his timely communications and assurances that nothing is missed and all duly recorded. In other words, Pete provides the alumni glue that keeps things together, on track and on time. And these may be the only 2 photos ever taken of Cooch without his beautiful smile. The annual reunion simply could not function at such a high level without Brother Couture's devotion to his second and perhaps most important job, that being the reunion's official margarita man. Although Brother Rowan Adamson runs him a close second. Rarely is a single glass left unfilled or unattended as long as his magic blender is churning out that frozen concoction that helps us hang on. Is Parrothead really an ATO? Cooch knows how to make friends with his ever-present smile, so please join me in welcoming my friend to accept his award and say a few words. Cooch. You're the cutest thing, isn't it? Oh, I love you, Cooch. Say a few words for us. Oh my gosh.
Kind of reiterate some of the things some of the previous brothers have said, but I want to, first of all, sincerely thank with deep affection to all my alumni brothers for honoring me. And my job as secretary is a labor of love. It is. We have three brothers that Duffer has mentioned to thank for the strength of our alumni association. If it were not for them, we would not be here today. They are Roy Harper's, Joe Smith, and George Yaks. But definitely, we wouldn't be here today if that didn't take place and they decided to host those reunions. The reunion provided a vehicle for us to rekindle strong bonds with alumni brothers that are interested while we were at Sam Houston. But we were also able to establish new bonds with brothers that were previous to us and after us. And, you know, sitting in front of me, I didn't know Charlie, I didn't know Rico, I didn't know Wendell, I didn't know A.W., I didn't know Randy, I didn't know Mr. Culberson, Al, Brother Culberson. And I'm close to all these people. Charlie, really, I didn't know Charlie, and we talk probably once a week, if not every 2 weeks. This has been made possible by the vision of Roy Harper, Joe Smith, and George Yaks. The leadership of our Alumni Association will continue to keep our alumni brothers together. And when the time comes, hopefully we'll have younger brothers that'll, keep this up and keep these bonds strong. And you young guys sitting out there that are actives, hopefully when you get to our point in life, you will be able to participate in something like this. This is very, very meaningful to me. And I love my brothers, and I enjoy all the bonds that we have formed. Thank y'all.
Did you bring your blender? I could sure use that blender, brother. Holy moly. This is a group of smiles. You're going to see some smiles there. When you think of an ATO who is always ready to pitch in and help with the Zeta Nu project, you think of Brother Mike Turtle Davis. From his days at Sam Houston as a campus class favorite, he still greets everyone with that infectious smile of his. Brother Davis' enormous creative talents as an artist and builder can be seen throughout the lodge. Basically everything wooden or was built or designed by Mike. It goes without saying, if we need something special or difficult, call Turtle. His friendly personality and ever-present smile has brought joy to so many. Cooch, I think Turtle's got a pretty good smile of his own, don't you? He has been a valuable participant at the annual reunions and a major contributor to the lodge. He has also been a vital part and has participated in every Hunt for Heroes event for the past 7 years. He has been with these heroes up close and personal and says, quote, "These hunts are not only special for those active duty military service members, but especially to those heroes who have been seriously wounded." He says again, all of us ATOs who are lucky enough to have met these warriors and to be afforded the opportunity to support and help them on these incredible hunts, regardless of their injuries, know they get to be themselves, having a good time and enjoying this beautiful Trails Inn Ranch. We're the lucky ones. Looks like old Duffer's got a pretty good smile going himself. Mike is still mindful of the good old Zeta Mu days in the 60s, being the first ATO pledge class, but he is also focused on how to keep that spirit alive and moving forward with today's Zeta Mu chapter. Who will forget Mike's paper mache statue of Bird's Mini-Me? You should see that thing. I don't know how he does that. But whenever the chapter needs banners for their tailgate display, tables for the meetings, computers for the lots, or ceremonial equipment for our rituals, Mike has always been the go-to man. A foundation builder of Zeta Nu, Mike has delivered time and again with the same love and passion. He has always shown for all these things ATO, even recruiting his wife, back there with the camera, as a reliable photographer for many of our events, including our Helping with Today's photos of the inductees. Thank you, Cynthia, for your help. Turtle, please join old Duffer It's your turn, buddy. Pick your award. Oh, boy. Yeah, I think we're gonna do it this way. I'm gonna get that down pretty quick. Those two smiles right there.
Really, these guys have already said everything. I can't really follow suit with anything.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate it.
I will say one thing. You young guys remember that this is the best thing that ever happened to you short of getting married. And I say that because I'm married to a wonderful lady. But, you know, my wife, my kids, my grandkids are only the thing better than this fraternity. These brothers of mine mean a lot to me. And I can tell you one thing. If it hadn't been for ATO, I probably wouldn't have made it through school. I can guarantee you that, because I went to school pro once. If it had been for them, they kept me alive. So I can tell you right now, guys, stick with it, and they'll make a man out of you without a doubt. Thank you.
I quit. Y'all won't mind if I shove him out of the way. Well, the next one up, they don't allow corpses to sit up in the casket and give their own eulogy, so you're just gonna have to bear with me. So what should we say about this next guy?
That's
If I
right.
can get it on the right slide. What'd you do with it?
They got dragged to the bottom.
What's your job now?
It's supposed to be that slide, but it's now all out of order. So. Oh my goodness. Well, as Duffer said in the beginning, we started out writing all these things down so various people could contribute. And Duffer's tribute today was to be delivered by Brother George Yaks, but because he can't be here, I'm going to read words that he had penned about Duffer. Let's see how this goes. It said, never in the course of brotherly love has so many owed so much to Duffer. No one has contributed more dedication, creativity, and hard work for the betterment of Zeta Mu than Brother Dunham, and yet he thinks he doesn't deserve this award. Without the benefit of having access to the past 64 years of Zeta Mu chapter's archives, scrapbooks, or memorabilia, which were lost in a chapter house fire, Duffer spent 3.5 years of his life bringing the history story of the Dons and the ATOs to life. He collected stories, photographs, memories, and whatever other memorabilia that he could beg, borrow, most of which was gathering dust in old drawers and closets to produce our magnificent 1,300-page, 3-volume set of the Don's Chapter History book. Let's see if I can find that slide. Here we go. Zeta Mu likely holds the unique distinction among national fraternities and their chapters of being the only one to have produced an incredible 3-volume, 1,300-page history project like this, ranging over 64 years. Some could ask why you think this, because it took a special person with special, unique talents, imagination, and dedication, plus $80,000 of alumni bucks to accomplish this feat.
Dan, that's 80,000.
Did I leave out a decimal?
I think you left out a zero.
He said he knew this could be done, but didn't know when he was volunteered for the almost impossible task that he would have to climb the Mount Everest of research efforts in order to make it happen. The real reward is that there are 3 books. Books 1 on the Don's ATO Zeta Mu chapter history covering 64 years. Book 2, the Zeta Mu Alumni Trails and Ranch Reunion History covering 20 consecutive years, and the ATO Zeta Mu Chapter Eternal containing tributes for the 110 Dons and ATO brothers that had passed away since 2016, which turned out to be masterpieces, each in its own right. Then comes along our great Hall of Honor project we are here today to celebrate and envisioned by myself. But when told of the idea, Duffer immediately sprang into action, saw the opportunity and dug in with all his passion to design the plaques, the invitations, the slideshow, and all the rest. I know for a fact that he has worked over the hundreds of hours designing, writing, scheduling, and worrying about this project. Just look at these beautiful awards and design that he produced, not to mention the PowerPoint that you're now watching just to see what he does. His original 3x5 foot painting on canvas of Old Main over there, presented on behalf of the ATO Zeta Mu Alumni Association to Sam Houston State President Dana Hoyt as a wedding gift, now hangs in a special alcove in the Austin College building on campus. And he says he doesn't deserve this award. Well, if there's ever a brother who embodies the spirit and dedication to our ATO Zeta Mu Brotherhood, it surely is Larry Duffer Dunn. That was all penned by George Yags. Now, from my own experience, I commented to somebody yesterday that sometimes Duffer and I are like those two old men on the Muppets, trying to work together. But we I honestly believe are birds from, feathers from the same bird, or whatever the saying goes. Because we think a lot alike, we correct each other's stuff, and we have worked on this project since March or something like that, with refinements and trying to make a fitting tribute to each one of you, because you're worth it. You're definitely worth it. So, Duffer, without further ado, would you come up here, and I will try to hold your slide right side up.
Well, thank you, Dan. I'll tell you, all this work that I've supposedly done has really been a labor of love, and it couldn't have done any of it without a lot of you all, the old cast of thousands. This guy here worked his fanny off 24/7, like Rico before him, and it is just such an honor, such a humbling honor to be in the company of all of these great men that preceded me here today. I can't tell you that day I remembered as if it were yesterday. Out at the lake, I remember AW inviting me and Toy Bells here, Ronnie Worm Womble, my roommate. Jesse was also my roommate, and Jackson Shaver. We came here to play baseball, but somehow that went awry when I unfortunately helped one of the coaches to the ground. The career was over. But that day that we were invited, all of us, to an ATO rush party, there were beverages and there were lots of girls, and that had to be the place for us. So I don't remember all those accolades we said about outstanding guys that you recruited, but I sure appreciate what you did for us. That was nice. And I want to echo the sentiment behind the comments that some of us have made about you young fellows back there. We love you guys. We really love when you come to the reunions. We like your spirit. It reminds us of ourselves. We used to look like you. Well, 3 of them did anyway. Look like you. I encourage you. Even against some of the adversities you have to face that we did not. We had a great fraternity house. We inherited it from the Dons. The association with all of us getting to be together all the time was just tremendous. You all don't have quite that benefit, but I urge you to build on that as much as you can, because as you've already heard, this can last you a lifetime. And today is just the culmination of us being able to say thank you to all of our 1,000+ alumni members and all of those who have passed on to Chapter Eternal. Some really great guys that we all knew, that we loved, we still love. And we want you guys to take our places. We want you guys to fill these ranks. We want you guys to be on this Hall of Honor. And I thank each and every one of you for this award. I don't think I deserve it, but I'm glad to have it. Thank you very much.
Doug,
Sir.
did you just walk off with my glasses? No, these are his.
He don't know, he can't see it.
Maybe I'll trade.
Sorry.
Oh, man.
Thought I had him.
That's to be honest, I'm just here for the comedy. All right, now as you've witnessed, we have honored a few of the brothers whose longtime contributions have helped build the foundation of Zeta Mu. In recent years, we've added on to the foundation with a history project, the Hunt for Heroes, and continued support of the reunion and the chapter. Under the weight of it all, we've had one individual who's engaged with cornerstone support to bolster the foundation and keep it on solid ground. And he's done so anonymously until today, with a full heart and a desire not only to participate, but to help make good things happen. After coming home from high school with 4 D's and an F, his father asked him what he had to say for himself. And his answer was, "Hey, Dad, I can't excel at everything." Thus, Stan Holt was driven to pursue being first at everything ever since. For Zeta Mu, I believe he owes the record among his pledge brothers for the longest pledgeship ever at 48 years.
He said it's 50.
Met Stan in 2014 when we initiated him, and it's been a great ride ever since. Stan's first-class talent for art helped him design and develop foods, displays, furnishings, and culture of his Lupe Tortillas restaurants, which I've heard have served over 2 dozen. Probably about the amount of time it's taken me to say that. The Holt Racing team is also a regular passion of Stan's. From providing excellent catering at the alumni reunion, financial support of the history and other projects, building a tailgate trailer for the Zeta Mu chapter and reunion use, hosting luncheons, speaking at chapter meetings, donating to silent auctions, and continuing to test new ideas to advance our brotherhood has earned Stan Holt his place in our Hall of Honor. Stan, it's been our honor to call you brother. The plan was for George Yaks to present you with the award, but because he can't be here, I've asked Steve Otis if he would come up and present you with the award. So Steve. I think you two look like the old Muppets more than. What you say?
Well, it's been a great time that I've had the opportunity to know Stan over these years. We were good friends when he was in school, and as he finally says, it was the best 6 weeks of his life. But anyway, it's been a great relationship, and he's brought a lot to our organization. I'm really thankful that he's done what he's done and become a real brother to us all. Thanks so much. I am, I believe, the oldest pledge holdover in the history of ATO. That's not the point. The point is, after that many years, and thanks to Steve,
they came and found me and included me back in the brotherhood, and it's filled a huge gap in my life. Forever grateful to you guys. And I also want to thank Steve. The reason it took me so long was Steve was the member who helped me in study hall throughout my college career. And we had the distinct award, and George put it on display, of having the lowest grade point averages in those years. And he did finish just ahead of me. With all that said, I am an ATO.
Thank you, Stan. Now I'd like to ask current chapter president Dylan Burt to come up and give us a report on the chapter. Dylan, where are you? There you are.
Number 5.
Hi everyone, I'm the chapter president. I'll be giving you our update on Zeta Mu chapter. So last semester we had the 2019 Pantheon Awards, and there ATO won the Wreath of Olympus Award through hard work and determination. As the top organization out of all Greek fraternities and sororities, making ATO number 1 on campus. Another first and major accomplishment for Zeta Mu was achieving 5-star status in Sam Houston's Success Through Accountability and Recognition, or STAR program. There were a lot of benchmarks to meet or exceeded. ATO led with community service hours, participation at events, and philanthropy contributions, thanks to our participation in the Alumni Hunt for Heroes event. Hunter Curry also received the President's Choice Award. It all starts with recruitment. Last fall, 21 new members joined, and we had another 3 members join in the spring. This ranked ATO in the top 3 of all IFC fraternities. Formal recruitment starts on Monday for this semester, so we are looking forward to start adding to our ranks with top quality candidates very shortly. This is the installation picture with our 21 new members last fall.
Wow.
Zeta Mu continued its streak of awards with our tailgates, especially with our new 20 by 30 canopy tent provided by the alumni. Meals are served and provided good advertisement for ATO during this year. ATO is a regular winner of HEB's Tailgate of the Game and Tailgater of the Year. We've already set up tailgate and we'll be out there around 3 o'clock today, so we hope that all of y'all can come out and kick off at 6 p.m. While we enjoy participating in ATO, participation in other campus groups is also very important. Brother Derek and myself both play for Sam Houston State's champion rugby team. We won Lone Star Conference 7 champions, 2019 NOLA New Orleans championships, and Lone Star Conference overall champion. Next is intramurals. Intramurals is one of the many ATO strong points. ATO won the 3-on-3 basketball championship by mercy rule against Teak. ATO took second place in 7-on-7 football. Fiji just barely squeaked out the win against us. ATO also placed second in softball against with stiff competition by Fiji. The Hunt for Heroes event was held at Brother Yax's Trails Inn Ranch in Medina in the fall. It is energetically supported by the chapter, and we were able to interact with a number of active duty servicemen and women. We helped them with hunts, meals, and shared our appreciation for the job that they do in the service to our country. Funds raised to support of this event are part of the philanthropy effort for 5-Star. This past year alone, contributions totaled $35,000. We were able to entertain around 20 active duty servicemen, including a few Navy SEALs who had just had a break from deployment. It gives us a lot of pride to serve those who serve us. We had 2 brothers participate in Sigma Chi's fight night, where they each had 6 weeks to prepare for a boxing match against a random opponent. Brother Derek won his fight with a knockout less than 30 seconds into the first round. Brother Jacob Gitry fought hard for 3 rounds but lost to a judge's decision. Many brothers were in attendance to support and all had a great time. This year, the chapter began the process of a lodge makeover by taking in the back porch to create a new recreation room. In addition, a new media room was built and a new designated study area was converted from a storage room. ZMU welcomes everyone to stop by the lodge for an open house after today's ceremony to see the great new additions and upgrades. ZMU would like to personally thank Dan Forney for all the countless hours he put forth on this project dating back to January when we first started this project. Now I'll turn it back over to Dan Forney.
Oh, okay, thank you, Dylan. Now, on behalf of the Dons, the ATO ZMU Active Chapter, and the Alumni Association, Larry Dunham, and everybody else who's worked on this project to make it a reality, I want to thank each and every one of you for taking time out of your schedules to be here today and celebrate these ZMU members who have gone beyond the call of duty to build ATO fraternity and the Alumni Association here at Sam Houston. What has really made this thing work and develop as an organization are the many components that have been led by so many, from chapter mentorship to leadership, training to the reunion, food service, entertainment, margaritas, spiritual guidance, the History Project, Hunt for Heroes, university summits, fundraising, and beyond. These men have used their love and their hearts and unique gifts and talents to tackle each one. When you take these honorees out of the equation, our footprint is a whole lot smaller. Although we honored a few by name today, none of our efforts would be possible if it wasn't for the support of our brotherhood, our families, and the current chapter members. At this point in time, I would like to point out I was lucky enough to have my parents join us today. My father is a 75-year Mason and has been volunteering, so I think I get some of this interest from him. But my mom and dad were lucky. I'm grateful to have you here today. And then my daughters, Grace and Emma. Grace is a new freshman up here at Sam. And my wife, Leah, they are the ones that bear the brunt of all the time that I spend with you ugly guys back there in the back. So, so now that I've taken that liberty, all of you all know that none of this would happen without the support of all of our families. So what I'd like to do at this point in time, if you guys on the front row and all the honorees can stand up, turn around, and applaud all of our supporters. Because none of us would be here without you. That's all right, baby. Sorry, that was probably more effort than. All right, for you current chapter members, and I know some of the other guys have said this already. You know, I hope that you will recognize that God has blessed you with unique talent to serve your fellow man, and you were given an opportunity to learn what that is. And right now, you're at the perfect time in your life to figure that out. I believe that with all my heart and look forward to seeing how you continue to keep ZMU the shining star under your watch. The 2019 Alumni Hall of Honor inductees will forever grace the ATO ZMU chapter and be the reminder of who helped build the foundation and legacy of ZMU for generations to come. Their plaques are now hung in the new media room at the lodge. They say his picture tells 1,000 words, but we'd appreciate it if you could make it over to the lodge for a little open house and see the display for yourself and the hard work the chapter has put into making it a reality. So this concludes our program, and we invite you down. There's lunch that's going to be served downstairs. Did we ever?
The
It's being hosted by none other than Bird, who has apparently already jumped up so he could go start doing that. So anyway, if all the guests, parents, and attendees to, could be the first in line, we would like to do it that way. If you chapter members can hang back a little bit. I particularly need to have Dylan Burt, Hunter Curry, Carter Hectorn, Chandler Alturi, Tristan, Tyler. I haven't even seen Tyler. I see him. And Matthew there as well. So thanks again for being here. I hope this program hasn't drug out too long, but we do have food downstairs. So if you make your way down there, we'd appreciate it.